Good morning, K1. First, thank you so much for joining us online this week. We know that this is different than what was planned. It's definitely different than what I had planned, but I'm thankful for the leadership of Pastor Jack, the staff, the LLC, who are staying informed and sensitive to the fluid nature of what's happening in the world right now regarding the COVID-19 coronavirus. The steps being taken to not meet together may feel a little disappointing. It's an interruption. But we want to do everything we can to be good neighbors, citizens, and models of Christ-like behavior in these times. Pastor Jack asked that I share these words with you this morning. Over the past week, I've been working with our district leaders, our church staff, and informed members of the medical community to establish some plans for dealing with the health crisis that has been changing all of our lives. I have a boat with a depth finder, and it tells me how deep the water is beneath me, but not how deep it is where I'm going. When I go to a new lake, I'm very nervous because I don't want to run aground in the shallows. Isn't that what we're all experiencing right now? We haven't had to navigate these waters before. As of right now, our Sunday morning gatherings will be determined on a week-to-week basis. We will communicate our decisions earlier in the week in the future. Please watch your email for announcements from K1 for updates. If you know of someone that does not have access to electronic communication, would you make it your responsibility to keep them informed? Call each other. Support each other. This is a great time for the true church to stand strong and put our trust in the God who never fails. This would also be a great time to shift your giving habits to online giving, whether that's through online bill pay with your bank or through our church website. Heidi Taylor would be more than happy to assist you in making this change. When I go on trips or vacations, I make sure the utilities and the mortgage are paid on time. I know you will be just as responsible to support your church, even if it takes an extra effort. Please accept the reality that this crisis will pass. We will get back to normal, and every adjustment we ask you to make is an opportunity to display the Christian character we are known for and the sanctified spirit of which we testify. Rest in Him. Place your trust in Him. Love each other. While this may feel like an inconvenience, I was reminded this week that we also have a tremendous opportunity. This could provide an opportunity for you to invite someone into your home to watch a message that wouldn't normally feel comfortable coming to church. Perhaps you have a neighbor that's more susceptible to illness and needs the compassion of the church now more than ever. Run to the grocery store for them. Check in on them. Care for each other in these days and represent Jesus well. Even though we're not meeting in the building, we can still be the church. Before I go, I'd like to share with you a few things from the message I had prepared for today. We began a series last week looking at passages that include teachings from Jesus and how they can directly impact our lives as we look to shape our church culture and personal lives around our 5 interim church behaviors of pray, grow, serve, give, and invite. Our second interim church behavior is growth. One of the opportunities we have to grow comes through difficult times. John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." So how do you encounter Jesus in tough times? I want to offer 3 things to not do, and then a few things to replace them with. First, don't focus on the situation, or you might be filled with anger. If we're honest, we have expectations of God, don't we? We expect that if we do all the things that we're supposed to do as church people, that He should, in kind, do the things that we want Him to do. That's the deal. I come to church, I pay my tithe, you keep me happy, fulfilled, employed, healthy, and we're good. That's an immature way to view our relationship with God. Instead, shift your eyes to Jesus, the author and perfecter of your faith, who for the joy set before Him endured the cross. But when a tornado comes, what do? Well, some people stand outside. It's not advised. We typically run for shelter. Don't get so fixed on the circumstances that you forget about the one who can protect your heart and bring you peace. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in times of trouble. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Second, don't focus on yourself, or you can be filled with self-pity. Do you ever feel like you're not getting the answer that you want from God? We ask out of hope. I know you can do this. God, I know you're capable. God, I know you're able. Just do this one thing for me. But then it doesn't happen. Where do you go in that moment? Do you remember what Jesus did when he was asked to do something he didn't want to do? Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." Twice Jesus asked for the cup to be taken from him. Twice he asked to not have to go through with what he knew he was about to go through. Twice he said, "But not what I want, what you want." When the unexpected happens, don't go inward. Go to the Father. A mature follower of Jesus acknowledges God and asks him for direction and peace. And third, don't focus on someone to blame, or you'll begin complaining. God might not always respond the way we want. Can you be okay with that? This is how we find out who God is in your life. Are you serving him or asking him to serve you? If you're wanting him to serve you, you probably get pretty irritated when things don't go your way. And maybe that's not just in your relationship with God. It's in your relationship with others. When something doesn't go right, you know it's not you. It has to be someone else. Ask God to search your heart. Make sure you're focusing on him. If there's any offensive way in you, ask him to help remove it from your life. Griping does not make progress. Humility before God always does. As we wrap things up today, look for the opportunities that God places before you to grow in him this week. We want to grow in easy ways, but growth may come through adversity. So be patient. Wait on the Lord. Seek after him. Spend time in prayer. Don't complain that he's not answering your prayers if you're not spending time with him in prayer. Stand firm. Don't let your circumstances overwhelm your faith. When people treat you like trash, when you're frustrated beyond belief, when the things happening in the world just don't make sense, realize that you still carry the name of Christ, and your actions need to show that. Stay aware. Know that tough times will come. Don't be surprised knowing we live in a fallen world that bad things happen. I don't believe that God causes all things to happen. Sin has infiltrated his perfect design. When unexpected things happen, that's not God's punishment. It's the effects of sin in our world. If we feel that God has left us when tough circumstances come, we will live a defeated life. Know that he is always with you and wants you to live a victorious life through Christ. And last, be careful. Anger is understandable. Frustration will happen, but don't give up hope. Don't move to despair. Cry out to God. Say anything you need to that's on your heart. He already knows it anyway. But don't let your circumstances push you away from the God that loves you. Walking with Jesus in hard times will help us to grow in our faith. It's a recognition that even in our worst and toughest moments, he's there to give us new life, new eyes to see a situation through, fresh direction to take the next step, the strength to carry on where we want to give up. Have a blessed week. Take care of yourself and take care of those around you.